Namaste to everyone. So today I thought we could talk a little about, in the light of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, we can take up how to deal with jealous movements, jealousy. And as long as we are identifying ourselves with the body, as long as we are thinking ourselves to be this limited individuality, it is bound to be that all these movements, which are part of the ego personality, will be there. But what can we do in the meantime when we have not arisen, or risen above the ego consciousness, or the ego is still there and we see these movements? So many a times, many of us, I know that many of us, virtually all human beings, at some or the other point of time, we have jealousy in us, and it's a very uneasy movement. It almost, one can say, it can burn our heart, but it is there, and we may not like it, but it is there. So what to do, how to deal with such movements, specifically when we are on the path of yoga and we don't want to be ruled by these dictates of lower consciousness, of ego consciousness, ambition, greed, lust, expectations, demands, jealousy, hatred, anger, aversion. So, all these are movements which are bound to be there. So, I think the first point is that not to take it personally. So, not to think that, oh, there's jealousy in me, not like get really agitated because of that or restless because of that. One just knows, as an understanding is there, that it is bound to be there. So, firstly, accepting it to be there, yes, it is there, not really getting frustrated by it, but at the same time, not following the dictates of jealousy. So, if you see a thought or a feeling or an uneasiness in you, which is a jealous movement or a movement of all the other things, aspects of lower nature, which I mentioned earlier, if they are there and you become conscious, we become conscious of that movement in us, just staying there as that consciousness, just watching those thoughts, uneasy feelings, evil tendencies which are there, which are making you maybe very uneasy, but just being conscious of all this ripples on the surface of our being. So first thing is, as I said, to know that they will be there. It's a long journey. Secondly, to not follow the dictates of all these lower movements, but to just stay conscious, staying as consciousness. I am aware of these movements. I am the awareness that knows these movements. I am the knowing of these movements. So, not get entangled in those movements, but try to maintain a kind of a detached witnessing stance. And we are that all the time, but we consciously are not aware that we are the consciousness of these movements. So we can try this, we can stay as consciousness, as presence of awareness, breathing through all these ripples that are there, breathing, staying close to the breath, breathing through, watching these movements and being aware. And then slowly they come and they go. At times it can happen that the movement does not go. It is not dissolving. It is just making us very uneasy. It is still there. It is demanding your attention again and again. So in those cases, we of course can take help from the word of masters. Here in this context, word of Sri Aurobindo, words of Mother, and Mother has really revealed too much to us if we can make use of it. So I'll just read a few things on jealousy by the Mother, how to deal with it, and how we can know that even sadhaks who were there very close to the Mother, they usually at times they would just become jealous because somebody else is close to the Mother. So all these movements were there even in the sadhaks who were truly wanting to do the sadhana. So we have to know that these movements are part of lower consciousness, of the ego consciousness. We are all as if rising from the mud, and we all the mud is sticking around us. So not to be frustrated by that, to know that it is a part of collective lower consciousness, and we will in time gradually progress through it. So I'll read few things. This is from on 20th April 1934, a letter to the mother, and mother responds. The question is, I do not understand why my vital always is jealous of X. Apparently, there is no valid reason. So, a sadhak is lamenting that why am I so jealous of this person or that person, and I can't see any reason, but it is there. So, the mother responds, there is never any reason for jealousy. It is a very low and ignorant movement. Then, jealousy comes from a narrowness of the mind and a weakness of the heart. It is a great pity, mother says, it is a great pity that so many are attacked by it. Jealousy, with its escort of slanders, is the output of the weak and the small. It deserves more pity than anger, and must leave us perfectly indifferent to it, enjoying the bliss of our unshakable certitude. So these are few words of suggestion by the mother. And then another question from a sadhak. The months are passing quickly and my weakness is increasing. How uneasy I feel. How disobedient, insincere, jealous, weak, covered with passion, ignorance, and falsehood. I am unable to see my lower nature. Oh, mother, what shall I do? So, just to know that all this frustration that we all may face right now when we are doing yoga or inner work within ourselves, trying to transcend our limitations and imperfections, knowing that that sense of frustration is omnipresent, it is there with all human beings. From time to time, we do feel like, oh my god, all the lower movements are still there. What do I do? So, mother says it is better not to look at it too much. So, not to look at these lower movements too much, and to turn your attention to more interesting things. So, we can offer our time or do some work which makes us absorbed in that work, some good work. So, mother says that to turn your attention to more interesting things, one becomes what one thinks. You should think of the strength, the uprightness, the sincerity you wish to become. So, to think of positive things, the extreme opposites of what we are maybe witnessing in us right now, to think of those heights rather than to always dwell on what is, wrong in me and what is not right. Sweet mother, how can one get rid of, or rather correct, jealousy and laziness? It is selfishness that makes one jealous. So you want that all the things should come to you and the others should not have the delight or happiness that may come through whatever you are jealous of, right? So we may be jealous that somebody has gotten a promotion, somebody has gotten a friend, somebody has gotten a good job, or a good whatever opportunity, and you are jealous because although you may have it earlier, but right now you feel how can that person have that good thing according to you. So mother says that jealousy is it's coming from selfishness. It is selfishness that makes one jealous. So you are too selfish that everything good is only going to happen to me, this little me. It is weakness that makes one lazy. So selfishness that makes one jealous, weakness that makes one lazy. And mother then gives us the effective remedy. In either case, the only true effective remedy is conscious union with the divine. So parallelly, no matter what are the outer circumstances, at times we are good, at times we are uneasy states are there, we have to continue our inner work to have this very, very close connection with the divine first, and then increasing in degrees, and then ultimately a union with the divine. It is a long journey. It is very, very long journey. Seems very close, but it's long because of the presence of lower nature. But still, we have to be at it, because otherwise, what is the point of being human if we can't make this effort? So, and again, I think I would take a few more suggestions from the mother to sadhaks on jealousy. Yeah. Yeah. So this is, I think, Sri Aurobindo responding to a letter again. To feel joy in seeing the mother is all right, but to demand it as a right, to be upset or in revolt or abhiman when it is not given, to be jealous of others who get it, all that is demand and creates an impurity which spoils both the joy and the love. So whenever we follow the dictates of jealousy which may be there, and you at times we can just watch it as ripples from old residual consciousness, the lower consciousness, but at times it may be just too overwhelming and we may actually want to follow it. So Sri Aurobindo says that to feel joy in seeing, some sadhak must be complaining that I feel so delighted when mother is with me and I'm able to see the mother, but why are others able to have that delight? So, but to demand it as a right, to be upset or in revolt or abhiman when it is not given, to be jealous of others who get it, all that is demand and creates an impurity which spoils both the joy and the love. So this we have to see that, do we want to spoil the joy and the love? If we want to, then we can go ahead and taste it. Then again, words of the mother from Elements of Yoga. If you are impure and egoistic, love in you will become impure and egoistic, narrow, sectarian, limited, ambitious, possessive, violent, jealous, vulgar, brutal, and cruel. Is this the kind of love that can be offered to God? So again, we have to see all these lower weaknesses in us, imperfections in us, and then we have to rise above them. There is no other option that we have. Because if we follow all those negative dictates, then it's just too much. It makes us too uneasy, and we know it's not the right movement. Then again, responding to a question, mother says, so long as all these women are living in the vital consciousness, in identified with my emotions and my feelings, when I'm living like that, as they do, they are bound to quarrel, to be jealous, to be envious, spiteful, depressed, and the rest. The best is not to pay much importance to it, because in fact it has none. Yeah. So I think these words are very, very helpful if we truly, truly want to work upon lower nature. And of course, not only we have to want, we also have to parallelly open ourselves to the working of the grace. How can we open? We have to imagine that just like space is present in me, around me, in my body, all around me, just like that, grace, it is grace which is all around me and in me. I right now am like a rock, very solid and impervious, like pani dalte hain to if we drop, water on the rock, hardly any difference. It doesn't become moist from inside. But if I am a sponge which is very porous, full of pores, open, receptive, then grace, I can take in all the grace and let the grace soak me, change my lower nature. So parallelly, along with all this little experiments that we do with ourselves, not to follow the dictates of wrong movements, parallelly we have to really do some inner work if we are inclined and serious, and rise above or disidentify from the ego consciousness and rise in our true consciousness. always try to follow our true consciousness. At times it is not possible, but then in retrospect we may realize what we have done, which is completely fine. It is part of the process. So being kind to ourselves, whenever we become uneasy, we can tell ourselves, may I be well, may I be truly happy, may I not suffer. And when you truly tell this to yourself, that you have full right to not suffer, you have full right to be happy, you have full right to be easy, may I not suffer, may I not be miserable. Then when next time some negative moments comes and it attracts you to follow it, you will not be able to follow it, because you want to be happy, you want to be content within, you don't want to suffer. So next time when that opportune moment comes, then we will be able to make that choice more effectively. Because who was wanting to be well and happy? Me. And then the more we do it for ourselves, we can extend the same for others. If somebody has that joy or promotion or something that you wanted, another person has got it, you can wish, may they be happy, may they have true joy in their heart, and may they not suffer, may they also have delight in their life. So parallelly wishing all that happiness and joy for ourselves, because a miserable ego cannot wish well for others. So we have to first do loving kindness for ourselves, and then we extend it to all the others we are friendly to, and then to all the neutral people we are neutral to, and then of course enveloping all the manifestation. May all the beings be well and happy, may they not suffer, may I not suffer, may I be well and happy. And then we make the right choice for ourselves. So this loving kindness meditation, Jetsunma Tenzin Palmo, our teacher, also she talks about it, that it's very important to give loving kindness to yourself and not desire suffering and misery for yourself, but desire well-being and wellness for yourself. Only then we can extend it to others. And if it is easy for us to extend it to others, then first extending it to others, but also very importantly, coming back to ourselves and wishing that wellness and happiness for ourselves, and always having the divine, in whatever form we may connect with the divine, as our own best companion, and ourselves being our best friend. No matter other people are there or not, their priorities may keep changing. People may be there today, not there tomorrow. Something that you are very fond of may be there today, you have a kind of a crutch to lean back on, but then tomorrow it is not there. It is the nature of sansar. Nature of world is fleeting. Aaj hai kal nahi hai. Today they are not there tomorrow. So but we are always there with us, and the divine within and without we can always commune with. So we should cultivate this friendship with ourselves, and always demanding from our own self that may I be well, may I be happy, may I choose not to suffer. So wishing the same for others. When we do that, it can become a little simpler. The way is still long, at times very arduous, but we all are together in it, and we must try what we can. Otherwise, what's the point of being human? The very idea that we can put effort makes us human. So we must rise above and make the effort, and not be pulled down again and again. No matter how many times we are pulled down, it's okay. But whenever we can be conscious to choose the divine, to choose the light over following the dark movements. That's what we can try, at least, whenever possible. And to also see that how much we suffer when we follow the dark movements. Nobody is very happy following their dark movements. And to continue our inner sadhana, inner journey, where we connect with our true consciousness every day, trying to extend it throughout the day, and having a very beautiful connection with the divine within, in any form that we connect with it. So I hope this pointers from Mother and Sri Aurobindo on jealousy will help many of us, and maybe not suffer, maybe choose what is well and happy for us and for others. Maybe be kind to others, maybe be wise and compassionate. So, thank you for today. Thank you.